technology startup. We have a lot of friends, film producers. So raise your hand if you're some kind of film producer on mobile. Yeah.
Film Angel.
All right. That is so cool. Thank you very much for coming and joining us. Yeah. So without further ado, because John has to catch a flight, so I want to try not to talk so much because I usually do. And then we, again, our event was sponsored by Pillsbury, and Justin is our good friends here in Pillsbury, and he always gives very good legal advices, no mercy. He'll go straight shooter and don't make this stupid, dumb mistake kind of talk. And we are, oh, does that mean 800 Birds is one of those?
No.
No, they're
But
winning.
it's great. So every time he will give slightly different tips. So we are doing this with Pillsbury probably on the 29th or 28th. So this is the chapter 29th, let's call it. Okay? And then you can probably access online if you guys are interested in getting the handout or something,
Sure.
right?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I'm Justin Hovey. I'm a partner here at Pillsbury. I work with tons of startup companies. This will be about 2 minutes because I know you want to hear the presenter speaking tonight. Tonight's topic is 3 entrepreneur fails. If you want to fail, focus on these 3 things. If it's too negative for you, do the opposite, and called 3 entrepreneur success, paths to success. The 3 things to do if you want to fail: take money from rich people that are non-angel investors,
That's right.
create impediments to liquidity funding events,
Yep.
or go 50-50 with co-founders if you haven't worked with them before. Rich people as investors, non-angels, they're the worst. They're the worst. They don't know what they're doing, but they think they do. They get their personal advisors to help out who don't know what they're doing. There's a way deals are done in ecosystems like this. There are forms. Rich people make complicated comments and overcomplicate everything. The most dangerous thing about rich people as investors is that, unlike angel investors who know you're going to fail, no offense, rich people actually think you're going to succeed, and that creates a completely different dynamic with your investors. So when you tell them you're going to pivot, they don't understand that. A pro tip: if you're going to take money from rich people, every month send out a note to your investors. Talk about wins, talk about fails, and then ask them if they have any contacts at companies that you're trying to contact. It empowers them. It keeps them abreast of what you're doing, and it empowers them so that inevitably when you go do ask them for something that needs to change, you have opened up a channel of communication with them, and they'll understand and expect it's coming. Finally, rich people are rich, so they go away, and they're not available. They go away to places where they don't have cell phones. It's totally annoying. But it happens, and you always need your investors to sign things last minute, what have you, so they're dangerous in that sense. The next thing, create impediments to liquidity or acquisitions. Investors or acquirers they're scared very easily when they see things. The things they get scared about the most are when you mess up your IP or you have a messy cap table. So the common things that I see startups do: they don't get employees and contractors to sign agreements to say the company owns the IP. It's a classic example. Oh, it's my buddy. He'll do whatever you want 2 years later. I didn't need to get him to sign anything. The next thing, people that do milestone vesting on equity, not time-based vesting, when you come up with, you're going to give me this and this thing and your equity will vest, those are complicated and they can create dangerous situations, and it's subjective criteria. When you speak to people, I'm going to give you 5% of my company. 5% can mean at least 3 different things. Is it 5% of actual, fully diluted? What does it mean? Is it post or pre-issuance? So don't talk in percentages, talk in fixed share amounts. Remember this, simple things work, don't over-engineer everything. Keep everything simple. Use your law firm's forms, they work for all of our clients. Do not innovate on your legal structure, innovate on your product. Big companies do bad things to you. Your spidey senses should tingle if you're entering into a contract with a big company. I know because I represent big companies and draft their agreements. We are screwing you over. There are provisions in there that make it vague at best at who owns the IP. There are provisions in there that prevent you from going to work for other people. So be aware and pick your fights in that and focus in on those provisions. If you're sloppy with everything, it's going to come back to haunt you. It will. Finally, going 50-50 with people you don't know. It happens a lot out here with people coming out of hackathons. Look, I can't tell you, and it also happens to people who are just nice people. Founders come to me all the time, I want it to be 50-50. And they come in and they want it to all be 50-50, and I have them leave a dictator where they own 90%. And because they see the wisdom in that. You need to understand, if you don't know the person and you're in the front lines with them, and you're at an impasse, if it's 50-50, nothing's going to happen and everything's just going to decay. You really need to have a leader. If you are going to go 50-50 with someone you don't know, at least try to have a clear guide over who's in charge of what. Because if you don't, and if you have a co-CEO position, it doesn't work. It only works in marriage. Well, that actually doesn't even work either. My wife makes all the decisions. But it only works in there. It doesn't work with the startups. So that's it again. Justin, Hovey, thank you for coming.